Welcome to Breaking the Vow on Strong Island Radio. This is a show where we turn pain into power and find recovery after divorce, separation, and breakups. This is where we push the emotional hang-ups to the side and create a plan to reach our best possible potential. This is where the next chapter starts and how the healing begins. So let's welcome your hosts, Theresa D. and Benny, the life coach.
And here we go with another edition of Breaking the Vow. I am Benny, the life coach, and with me, as always, is Theresa D., queen of everything.
I love how you say that.
It's the truth. It is the truth. I have learned to accept truth.
Yeah.
And the truth is, Theresa D. is queen of everything. So, how's everyone feeling? Hopefully, everyone is staying healthy. We're going to go again with another feedback edition and talk about what we hear from people. So a lot of what we're hearing now is what to do with our children, especially during COVID. So certain lines have been blurred. Work life and home life is now blurred because work life has become home life for a lot of people. They're working from home. Therefore, there is no work life, home life boundary.
Right.
And kids are home all the time. And, you know, you get stir crazy for sure.
Of course.
And it's not like there's a lot of places to go.
No, there
A lot of
aren't.
things are closed.
Yes.
Do you miss movie theaters?
No, I don't.
I was never a movie theater
Me
person.
neither.
'Cause
I
people-
wasn't.
You know, I like
The kids
popcorn.
loved it.
I like the popcorn. I like the snack bar. But I hated the fact you'd sit in the movie theater, someone in the back talking, like, shut up, pal. let them talk. But I think that it fortunately, spring is in the air.
Yes. Thank God.
Yeah. You know, think about this, folks. Like, here we are, and we're moving through this time very quickly.
Yeah.
Now, when the warm weather comes, we can go outside. Yeah. And it makes sense to create that boundary, to find yourself a sense of freedom. Again, we talk about self-care a lot, and you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of your needs. You can't stay in the house. You know what I've learned that I can't do?
What?
Can't watch the news.
No. I watch the weather, and that's about it.
The news is not really filled with great reports.
It's the news. It never is.
No. It's just like someone across the street and didn't get hit by a car. There's no interest in that.
No.
They want it's. Think about driving in traffic. Why is there traffic? Because everyone's creeping past that accident, and everybody wants to see what happens.
Yes.
That weird, morbid sense of curiosity.
Yeah.
I don't have that morbid sense of curiosity anymore. I don't want to watch the news. I don't want to hear about how unhappy everyone is. I don't want to get into this he said, she said thing. I mean, the cancel culture to me is terrible.
It's horrible. And it puts so much pressure on kids.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
So I had a client discuss an argument that they had with their children. And, you know, children, they absorb a lot.
They're like sponges.
Right. And they're trying to pick up on these. I stay away from virtue signaling.
What the hell is that?
Virtue signaling is like to show someone, look what I'm doing. I'm being involved with this movement because I feel so strongly about that. Okay.
I would call that an ego.
Well, it is. So then you're not really about you're not about the
cause.
No, you're about what that cause means to you.
Right.
So what's important to me, what I want my child or anyone that knows me to know about myself, like what's important to me. So hate is like the worst degradation of human life. And I don't want to give in to hate. I don't want to give in to anger. I don't want to argue. I don't want to fight. I don't want to be part of the bickering that goes on back and forth.
Then don't.
I don't. I don't. I think people are like, I don't like the way things are going on these days.
I like that accent you just had right there.
I always do that. I do that anytime someone's complaining.
Is your other name like Jeeves? Like what personality?
Any complaint, it always starts the same way. Whenever I hear someone complain in my head, it sounds like, I can't stand it.
You turn into Jeeves.
Yeah, I do. I totally do. I totally do. Sometimes, I sit in front of people. One thing I am is I'm me. I'm me at all times.
Oh, yes. I know that.
I don't want to be a million different people. I don't see any point in being a chameleon anymore.
No.
It's just wasteful.
Yeah.
So there's so many times where a friend of mine said yesterday, I just wish the world would shut up.
Yeah.
For like a couple of minutes.
I like that.
A couple of minutes.
Oh, that would be amazing.
For a couple of minutes.
That would be amazing.
Maybe we could all kind of hit the reset button.
Yeah. That would be cool.
Yeah, but it's not happening.
No, it won't, but it should.
No, arguing is a habit.
What do you mean it's a habit?
Well, think about this. If part of the reason why divorces get so messy is why? You argue more than when you're married.
Yeah.
Imagine if you stopped arguing. The whole reason why I got divorced was to stop arguing.
Okay.
I think that makes sense. And for me to feed into it, the one thing I had to learn is because someone didn't do something the way I wanted them to when we were married, now that we're divorced, I have to stop expecting that.
Exactly.
And I think people give into this idea like, no, I don't care what happens. I want them to listen. I want them to do what I say.
No, that's not how it works.
Well, people don't do it.
Right.
You cannot control anyone's position, their outcome.
Clean up your side of the street and stay there.
And imagine how much time and energy you would conserve if you did that. So what do you think people waste the most time and energy on after divorce? It's a good question.
That's a really good question.
What do you think they waste their... So if it's not arguing...
Trying to control the other person.
That doesn't work. But you're right.
Yeah.
So
much time is wasted.
So control is wasteful.
Yes.
That's a good one.
If you can't control it.
You can't control it. So then arguing
right.
Arguing is just another form of control then.
Yeah.
Because you don't like what they're doing. So you're going to come up with an argument. There's no debate.
No.
And someone's position or opinion is their opinion.
Right.
And if you couldn't change it before, why?
You're definitely not going to change it now.
No. All right. So I think one of the questions I have been asked is, what do you do when your ex continues to be mean?
Oh.
That's a heavy one.
That is a heavy one.
Well, what I do is I don't interact.
No, you have to cut that shit off immediately.
I'm fortunate that the mother of my child is not mean.
Mean people suck.
I am fortunate that I don't have that in my life anymore. And you know why I don't have that in my life anymore? Because I don't reciprocate that either.
Right.
I'm not looking to be mean. I'm not looking to win an argument. I'm not looking to be right. And so long as we're always looking to be right and validated.
Yeah. You're never going to get that.
Well, no.
By someone else.
Yeah.
You can validate you. You don't need somebody else to validate you.
Well, you're the one that's supposed to validate you.
Right.
And I think people lose that. People lose that idea.
Without a doubt.
And they get caught up in these ideas that, no, you have to do what I say. No one's going to do what you say.
Nope.
Your kids aren't going to do what you say either.
Right.
So
get used to it.
Well, did you do what people tell you when you were a kid? No.
No.
Did you do what your ex told you? Maybe yes, maybe no. But are you going to do it now? No. You kind of want your freedom.
Yeah.
So part of getting that freedom means you have to let go of everything that was like that imprisoned you, I would think.
Yes.
That's the tough part.
Yeah.
To get beyond that habitual behavior that you keep going back to.
Now, how long did they say it takes to break a habit? I know there's like...
someone told me it takes 30 days to break a habit or 90 days. I don't know, but someone told me that. That's a good one. So you have to keep repetitively do something like in the antithesis, the opposite direction.
The opposite direction to break that habit.
Ooh, so that's a good one. So Your dedication, right? To me, the dedication that you feel is equivalent to your level of success. If you are dedicated to working on feeling better and improving as a human being, if your dedication is so strong, well, then eventually you're gonna reach your goals.
Right.
So we're gonna go to a break, and then we're gonna come back.
We
and
have
talk
to pay the bills.
Yeah, we gotta pay some bills, and then we're gonna talk about goals.
Hey, Ben, did you know 65% of people have curly hair, and the biggest problem that holds them back from embracing their curl is?
Frizz.
Yes!
Frizz.
Good job.
I pay attention.
You do. Curl Evolution in Babylon Village is solving that problem as Long Island's top curly salon.
No more frizz.
No more frizz.
Okay.
They specialize in cuts and colors just for curls. But what's different about this salon is that you don't just get a haircut, you have an entire experience.
I like that.
Yeah, a customized lesson of how to style your unique texture, as well as a deep treatment to hydrate curls and reduce frizz.
So I have watched people with curly hair literally destroy their hair because they wanted it to look better, and then it just looked worse.
Right.
So here's a silly question. Why not just go to the people that do it like professionally?
Curl Evolution.
I would go there.
You should.
I will.
233 East Main Street, Babylon Village, New York, 11702, 631-422-4200.
Nice. So, 631 Tire and Wheel at 666 West Hoffman Avenue, Lindenhurst, New York, 11757. That's 631tire.com at 631-412-5165. You ask for Tommy. You tell him Theresa D or Benny the Life Coach sent you. Trust me when I tell you, he will solve all of your tire needs.
Oh, Ben, didn't some guy call you?
He did. This is the guy for the boat, the ATV, and
Yes,
the Wave Runner and all
the
that
patio furniture. He's like selling everything, right?
He's looking to get out of Dodge. So he said, hey, he called me and I go, how you doing, buddy? He goes, I listened to what you said. I went to rap-america.com. I found out what to do. I got these wraps with reusable zippers, covers. I covered everything. The guy Tommy was like the nicest guy to deal with.
Of course he is.
And of course, who helped him? He mentioned your name, not mine. And he goes, I'm sure he likes you too.
I love that, Tommy.
He likes Theresa more than he likes you. Either way, he called 516-830-0040, asked for Tommy, and all of his needs were taken care of.
Hey, Ben, are we getting out of here on time today?
No.
It's
But
all your
wait
fault.
a second, it is. I keep messing up on a lot of things, folks. I know you're listening at home, but I mess up. I make mistakes. And you know why? It's because I'm hungry.
Yes.
I'm hungry, so
No, you get hangry.
I do get hungry.
You do.
You get frustrated.
I do. You're right.
You've thrown things at me in the studio.
I have.
Once or twice, maybe 3 times or more. But I have a solution. I think if we eat a good lunch, so if we go to Giovanni's Pizza, by the way, did you bring your dad home the chicken
Farm, yes.
He loves
His
that.
favorite.
I think
Yes.
Gio knows that.
Yeah, Gio knows that.
It's
Makes
a
it
great.
special just for him.
So, guys, I'm letting you know right now. Giovanni's Pizza, 1009 Little East Neck Road, West Babylon, New York, 11704, 631-669-9507. We are open, says they. Give them a call. So I want to get personal for a second. Not that we don't get personal on the show anyway. There is a 501c3 not-for-profit corporation helping children and families with unfortunate and unforeseen circumstances in Long Island. So HopeFloatsLongIsland.org helped me when I was doing an event for children with pediatric cancer. And half the people that were supposed to help us backed out.
Yeah.
We were on this beach.
I get it.
We have all these people coming, and everyone's coming to help us, and the vendors that were supposed to be there didn't show up. Hope Floats Long Island not only touched my heart, but they made the event happened,
Yeah.
and no one else knew. I had a heart attack, but the show went on, and that
Yes,
was
it
like the
did.
greatest thing. So that's www.hopefloatsli.org, and you can email Theresa at hopefloatsli.org. Okay, so we're back. Now, goals. My goal. It's difficult. What was my goal when I first got divorced? I think the overall goal is to be happy.
Right.
I didn't want to be alone. But the weird thing is, I was so alone. When you're with the wrong people, that's a lonely place to be.
Yeah,
Right?
it's a really lonely place to be.
I didn't want to be alone anymore. I certainly didn't want to pretend anymore.
Yeah.
Because that's what life is when you're living in the wrong episode. You know,
Yeah.
you're pretending
You're
the
pretending.
whole time. And you know what? I also didn't want to make excuses for myself or for anyone else. So that's a good question for you. How long did you have to live making excuses for other people in your life when you didn't want to be around them?
I think I still do it now.
Right. And where is that need?
I think that's a never-ending process.
What is that? Where does that need come from to explain away or try to explain or tell people what happened so they understand? Meanwhile, how important is it that other people understand where we're at?
No, I just stopped explaining. And then you see them go.
Yeah, well,
You do.
I have clients. They're like, I have to give you a little background.
Right. And you really don't.
No, well,
But I don't owe that to you. No one owes that to you.
Well, you don't have to give background when you want to. First off, when you want to find someone and you're trying to seek help, we'll say, or try to create a new life, you don't have to give a background. You don't have to explain yourself.
You don't.
Because it's just justifying where you came from. You don't have to justify that.
No, you don't.
You don't have to justify yourself to anyone.
Right.
All you have to do is figure out what your goals are. So, what do you think your first goal was? Your first main goal when you entered into divorce?
Oh, my first goal was my children. I wanted my children not to feel pain.
Ooh, that's a heavy one.
Yeah.
Because I think children naturally take on a sense of responsibility. Like, were we bad? Did we do anything?
Yes. And that took a while to work through for them to know
sure.
that it wasn't them. It had nothing to do with them.
Yeah. So I have been told that every child has this secret wish that their parents get back together. And I was told this by the mother of my daughter. And I remember thinking, no, I don't think my daughter ever thought about or wished that we got back together. I think she wished this never happened.
Mm-hmm.
I think she probably wished that she didn't have to tell her friends or explain why. Well, no, that's really my stepdad. My dad lives someplace else.
Right.
Because I don't think that's a fun conversation.
No, that can't be a fun conversation.
No, but it's more common.
Yeah.
Divorce is pretty common, isn't it?
Yeah, 60%.
60%. That's rough.
Yeah.
So there's no
It's like,
more
why-
50-50 shot.
No, it's less than 50-50.
Right. So since it's so common, I think there has to be a conversation. We talk about this when we bring on Fess Up When You Mess Up with Fran
yes.
Krangle. You know, having age-appropriate conversations with our children is really important. Remember, we don't want to pit a child against mom or dad.
You can't.
Well, if you do it, what's going to happen is they're going to have problems later on in life.
Yes.
And our goal as a parent, my goal was I wanted to take away pain from my child.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to give her pain.
Right.
But when I was not thinking clearly and when I was stuck in the argument phase and when I needed
a lot of people get stuck in the anger phase.
I was.
Yeah.
When I was stuck in the anger phase, I think that the damage that I caused was sometimes irreversible. And that's what I don't think a lot of parents understand. You know, you do what you do. I understand that. And we all make mistakes. But that doesn't, even if we say we're sorry for the mistakes, that doesn't mean the mistakes did not leave a scar
Right.
or a mark.
Doesn't mean they didn't hurt.
It absolutely hurt.
Yeah.
It hurt everyone. And I remember thinking, well, it's not my fault, it's her fault, or it's this person's fault, or this.
Yeah. I mean, the easiest thing to do is to blame someone else.
I understand there were things that I might have been right about. But so what? Did I want to be right or happy?
At that point, when you were angry, you just wanted to be right.
You know what? I wanted to be happy and right. I couldn't have them both.
No.
No. And, again, like we talked about, when both sides have a little unhappiness and figure out how to balance that and go on their own separate ways, that's when you see recovery.
Yeah.
And that's really what we want to do. We want to promote recovery. Now, unfortunately, I use that word recovery and it's tied to drug addiction and alcoholism. And then there's that stigma that comes up. Once an addict, always an addict. Once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. I have news for you.
Well, you kind of are, aren't you? But you're not.
I don't identify that way.
Okay.
I really don't. I am not that person. I used to call myself a junkie.
No.
But I don't now because I'm not that person.
No, you're not.
I mean, I'm in recovery. And I understand the 12-step model. So, well, you're always going to be an alcoholic. No, I'm always going to be Ben.
Yeah.
That's who I identify with. And I don't necessarily have the need to say, well, I'm always going to be this weak-minded individual. I'm pretty sure I'm not weak-minded. Mm-hmm. I had someone that I worked with. I think I'm pretty sure I told you about this. This guy lost a child 30 years ago. He lost a child to sudden infant death.
Oh, to SIDS, yes.
Yeah, and he said, I was so depressed because I remember there was a time when I was angry and I was thinking, I wish this kid was never born. And then right after that, the child died. He didn't mean it. He said it
right
out of haste. He was angry. He was frustrated. The kid was crying, and he said what he said. And then after that, he had to deal with the aftermath of that. Then 30 years later, he had a fiance who had bipolar disorder.
Oh.
And she tragically committed suicide. And he said it was very difficult for me.
Difficult? Of course.
And he went right back into that whole chemical reaction of, what happened, what loss is to him.
Yeah.
And he said something to me that was very interesting. He didn't shame her or say, well, she was sick. He said something very differently. He told me, he goes, she was a warrior and she was a hero and she battled every day her entire life.
She did.
So the fact that she lived as long as she did, I understand how she went. But you know what? She was a warrior. And I see myself or anyone that lives with depression or some sort of depressive disorder or any sort of disorder, which we don't like those words, says Fran Krangle, and I appreciate that. But
Fran, you need to yell at him.
Yes, Fran, you do need to yell at me, and I like it. But the thing is, we have these ideas that, there's something wrong with us. Well, no. Maybe we need help. Maybe we need a different way of thinking. And
right.
When we come back from the break in a little bit, we're going to talk about that. What are the different ways we can think? What are the different ways we can treat ourselves? So this way we can find recovery. And it doesn't have to be about a drink or a drug or gambling or shopping or a sex addiction. What about the fact that we have needs that don't get met and we have an issue or something that we struggle with that we can't quite identify with language? Mm-hmm. So if we could figure out a way to address that stressor or problem, if you want to call it that, then
the challenge.
Okay, if we could address the challenge, then what would happen to the symptoms? Where would they be? Would they still be around? If you address the challenge, the symptoms go away.
Yeah.
But for some reason, we have become a society that throws money at symptoms.
Yeah.
And we don't deal with the problems so much. And I only think that my recovery has brought me to where I am is because I have to deal with the problems.
Yes.
Otherwise, I'm left miserable. Otherwise, or if left to my own devices, they told me that if left to my own devices, I'd be dead. I don't want to be dead,
No.
and I certainly don't want to be left to my own devices. I want to improve. So let's pay a few bills, folks, and we're gonna see you in
We'll be back.
2 minutes.
Hey Ben, did you know 65% of people have curly hair, and the biggest problem that holds them back from embracing their curl is?
Frizz.
Yes!
Frizz.
Good job.
I pay attention.
Do. Curl Evolution in Babylon Village is solving that problem as Long Island's top curly salon.
No more frizz.
No more frizz.
Okay.
They specialize in cuts and colors just for curls. But what's different about this salon is that you don't just get a haircut, you have an entire experience.
I like that.
Yeah, a customized lesson of how to style your unique texture, as well as a deep treatment to hydrate curls and reduce frizz.
So I have watched people with curly hair literally destroy their hair because they wanted it to look better, and then it just looked worse.
Right.
So here's a silly question. Why not just go to the people that do it like professionally?
Curl Evolution.
I would go there.
You should.
I will.
233 East Main Street, Babylon Village, New York, 11702, 631-422-4200.
Nice. So, 631 Tire and Wheel at 666 West Hoffman Avenue, Lindenhurst, New York, 11757. That's 631tire.com at 631-412-5165. You ask for Tommy. You tell him Theresa D or Benny the Life Coach sent you. Trust me when I tell you, he will solve all of your tire needs.
Oh, Ben, didn't some guy call you?
He did. This is the guy for the boat, the ATV, and
Yes,
the Wave Runner and all
the
that
patio
stuff.
furniture. He's like selling everything, right?
He's looking to get out of Dodge. So he said, hey, he called me and I go, how you doing, buddy? He goes, I listened to what you said. I went to rap-america.com. I found out what to do. I got these wraps with reusable zippers, covers. I covered everything. The guy, Tommy, was like the nicest guy to deal with.
Of course he is.
And of course, who helped him? He mentioned your name, not mine. And he goes, I'm sure he likes you too.
I love that, Tommy.
He likes Theresa more than he likes you. Either way, he went to called 516-830-0040, asked for Tommy, and all of his needs were taken care of.
Hey, Ben, are we getting out of here on time today?
No.
It's
But
all your
wait
fault.
a second, it is. I keep messing up on a lot of things, folks. I know you're listening at home, but I mess up. I make mistakes. And you know why? It's because I'm hungry.
Yes.
I'm hungry, so
No, you get hangry.
I do get hangry.
You do.
You get frustrated.
I do. You're right.
You've thrown things at me in the studio.
I have.
Once or twice, maybe 3 times or more. But I have a solution. I think if we eat a good lunch, so if we go to Giovanni's Pizza, by the way, did you bring your dad home the chicken
Farm, yes.
He loves
His
that.
favorite.
I think
Yes.
Gio knows that.
Yeah, Gio knows that.
It's the
Makes
the
it
greatest.
special just for him.
So, guys, I'm letting you know right now. Giovanni's Pizza, 1009 Little East Neck Road, West Babylon, New York, 11704, 631-669-9507. We are open, says they. Give them a call. So I want to get personal for a second. Not that we don't get personal on the show. Anyway, there is a 501c3 not-for-profit corporation helping children and families with unfortunate and unforeseen circumstances in Long Island. So HopeFloatsLongIsland.org helped me when I was doing an event for children with pediatric cancer. And half the people that were supposed to help us backed out.
Yeah.
We were on this beach.
I get it.
We have all these people coming, and everyone's coming to help us, and the vendors that were supposed to be there didn't show up. Hope Floats Long Island not only touched my heart, but they made the event happen.
Yeah.
And no one else knew. I had a heart attack, but the show went on, and that
Yes,
was
it
like the
did.
greatest thing. So that's www.hopefloatsli.org, and you can email Theresa at hopefloatsli.org.
And we're back.
We are back.
Yeah.
So, what do you think your biggest challenges are? Emotionally, I should say.
Now or back then?
Well, back then and then now.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
The biggest challenge back then was keeping my household in some kind of normalcy going through the divorce, which is so hard because nothing is normal at that point.
Uh-huh.
And now the biggest challenge is keeping it normal.
The one thing that I've seen you do that I applaud and I think is worth celebrating is you've managed to be consistent and persistent in everything you do.
I try.
Well, no, you do it. You don't try, because if you're consistent and persistent, okay, you'll make mistakes. Okay, things go wrong, but at least they could say, "Well, this is how my mother's always been. This is
Yes.
how. This is how."
That
we do
is
things."
that is definitely one thing they can say.
You know, my mom always shows up,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying or suggesting other people aren't showing up,
Right.
but they're not in the room with me right now.
Right.
Right. So, fess up when you mess up, show up when you can. I think that is the
Yeah.
that is the goal. I try to stay consistent and persistent. The only time I was not consistent or persistent is when I fed into the distractions, which were my ego,
Yes.
my pride,
Yeah.
the emotional thinking.
Yeah. The totally emotional thinking. You can't, when you're emotional, you should never make decisions. You just can't.
No, it's not helpful. You can.
You can. They're not going to be the right ones,
No,
but
it's not necessarily going to be helpful. I mean, anytime I made these emotional decisions or I fired off just because
Yeah.
I had a thought or a feeling,
right.
it created an argument.
It never works. Take a step back.
So, what I did not remember is if I'm willing to argue, chances are someone else is willing to
Of
argue.
course.
So by feeding into that, all it did was create an argument. And those arguments that I created problems for me.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, what I don't think people really tally is the fact that those arguments and those little problems that created a year ago, they manifest and surface down the road.
They do. All right, I'm going to bring up an analogy now. Like, are you an Amazon shopper?
Sometimes, sure.
Okay. My kids are like avid Amazon shoppers.
Okay.
So it was my 12-year-old who actually taught me this really good lesson.
Okay.
Because you go and, as an Amazon shopper, you just go and you put everything in your cart.
Mm-hmm.
And what she said to me was, Mom, I have all these things in my cart, but I'm giving myself 2 days with them in my cart, and then I can look back at it and say, well, I really don't need this, this, and this, but I want to get this and this.
Okay.
So she goes, it's the same when you have an argument. What you should do
From the mouth of
a 12-year-old,
Oh my
what
God,
you
I just
should
got
do
schooled.
is you should not say anything for 2 days and think about it.
That is such a brilliant and unrealistic.
Exactly.
It's so brilliant. The 12-year-old, hey, Dad, why don't you just shut up and just take a step back? God damn it. You're right, but I'm mad.
Yes. Yes.
That is.
Wait 2 days before you respond.
I wish. When was your 12-year-old then? So I wish that I did that. I wish there's so many things.
Listen,
that
I wish I
say.
did that too.
There's so many things that I wish I left unsaid.
Yeah.
And there are things that,
Because words hurt.
well, listen,
They do.
I definitely said hurtful things, and
So did I.
and I apologized for them. I apologize for them now. I do not say anything negative about anyone in my life. We may not get along. Like, even on other shows, we joked about that picture with the green pool. Would you go swimming or stay? I drink the
Get me
water.
a cup.
Yeah. Of course. Listen,
Yeah.
we're divorced for a reason.
Yes.
That just means we didn't match. It's not about good, better than, or
Yeah.
I'm above or you're below. It's about how do I create the life that I really want.
Right.
I just want to have a good life.
Right.
And it wasn't good.
Right.
It wasn't good.
You were angry. You were stressed. You were, you know,
Oh, my
it
God.
was.
Honestly, I was suicidal.
Yeah.
I really was. I was living in this life that I didn't fit into. I was talking to people that I remember I didn't get along with. You know, listen, I am not painting a picture of myself that I was the end-all, be-all of great husbands. I am not saying that by any means, nor am I saying she was a terrible wife. So the maturity reached me when I realized we were just two people that didn't belong together,
Right.
and that's a
hard realization to come to.
took growth.
Yeah.
It took some growth. It took growth. It took therapy, and you know, by the way, we talk about therapy, but I'm going to say this much: when you get into therapy, or if you choose a coach, or you choose anyone to help you, again, who you choose is so paramount. It is.
Yes.
It is really important. I chose this one therapist who was not very good. I disliked her. I disliked her at the end because she was telling me what. So at that point, I started writing every day, and I had this idea, and I said, I think I'm going to send this thing that I've been writing out, and I think I'm going to get published. I think I'm going to try to get published. And the therapist said, well, you really shouldn't do that because there's a million writers out there, and you're setting yourself up for, bless you, it was a cough. But anyway, I'm there for you. So the therapist said, I don't think that you should put all your eggs in one basket.
There's the Jeeves voice again.
Oh, she was like, you shouldn't do that. No, she told me that, you tend to put all your faith in something and then it doesn't come through and then you find yourself disappointed. And I was like, well, I just like writing, so I want to try this.
Yeah.
And she says, yeah, well, there's a lot of writers out there. So, and she showed me a book that someone else published that like they paid to have it published. And I was like, no, I don't want to, I just want to try.
Right.
And she's like, okay, I just don't want you to see you set yourself up for disappointment.
Okay.
So I said, fine. And
If
then,
you don't ever take that chance, you'll never know.
Well, so then I started dating this girl, and I was like not sure how to introduce her to my daughter. And she's like, no, you should not. You should not do that. This girl's going to be gone, and you're going to introduce her to your daughter. You're not even going to see her anymore. You think you like people, you don't even know them.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah.
Wow.
I go, well, I don't have to ask
Okay,
you
who
for
is this
permission.
therapist? Because I never want to see her.
No. I kind of remember her name, but I don't know if I could even say it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do it. Screw it. I'm not telling. If someone talks to you like that, just leave. So I was like, you know what? I stood up and I'm like, you know what? Me and you, we don't mix.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't come here for your opinion. I came here for you to help me work through things. You're not. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I think whatever she said about the mother instinct in me took over. I apologized. I'm like, I'm paying for that. So I left. And then I didn't renew for my next appointment. And she sent me this message saying, hey, I'm really sorry, but, you tend to walk away from things too easily. And
Oh, so you were supposed to try with your therapist.
right. So I said,
Wow.
I said, okay. And I didn't see her for a very long time until one day I was at a mall in a bookstore sitting at a table with a sign on it that said, meet the author. And I was sitting next to this girl who was my wife, who was the girl that she said, don't bother with.
Right.
And she walked by me and she pretended not to see me, but she had that face on like, that's him.
Yep.
And I'm like pointing at the sign, meet the author. Hey, that's me.
Right.
Bitch. So yeah, all right. Let's go to let's go to a little commercial break, and we're gonna be coming back to
I need coffee.
we need coffee, and a
Yeah.
constructive conclusion is coming up next.
Hey Ben, did you know 65% of people have curly hair, and the biggest problem that holds them back from embracing their curl is?
Frizz.
Yes!
Frizz.
Good job.
I pay attention.
You do. Curl Evolution in Babylon Village is solving that problem as Long Island's top curly salon.
No more frizz.
No more frizz.
Okay.
They specialize in cuts and colors just for curls. But what's different about this salon is that you don't just get a haircut, you have an entire experience.
I like that.
Yeah, a customized lesson of how to style your unique texture, as well as a deep treatment to hydrate curls and reduce frizz.
So I have watched people with curly hair literally destroy their hair because they wanted it to look better, and then it just looked worse.
Right.
So here's a silly question. Why not just go to the people that do it like professionally?
Curl Evolution.
I would go there.
You should.
I will.
233 East Main Street, Babylon Village, New York, 11702, 631-422-4200.
Nice. So, 631 Tire and Wheel at 666 West Hoffman Avenue, Lindenhurst, New York, 11757. That's 631tire.com at 631-412-5165. You ask for Tommy. You tell him Theresa D or Benny the Life Coach sent you. Trust me when I tell you, he will solve all of your tire needs.
Oh, Ben, didn't some guy call you?
He did. This is the guy for the boat, the ATV, and the
Yes,
wave runner and all
the
that
patio furniture. He's like selling everything, right?
stuff. He's looking to get out of Dodge. So he said, hey, he called me and I go, how you doing, buddy? He goes, I listened to what you said. I went to rap-america.com. I found out what to do. I got these wraps with reusable zippers, covers. I covered everything. The guy Tommy was like the nicest guy to deal with.
Of course he is.
And of course, who helped him? He mentioned your name, not mine. And he goes, I'm sure he likes you too. But
I love that, Tommy.
He likes Theresa more than he likes you. Either way, he called 516-830-0040, asked for Tommy, and all of his needs were taken care of.
Hey, Ben, are we getting out of here on time today?
No.
It's
But
your
wait
fault.
a second, it is. I keep messing up on a lot of things, folks. I know you're listening at home, but I mess up. I make mistakes. And you know why? It's because I'm hungry.
Yes.
I'm hungry, so
No, you get hangry.
I do get hungry.
You do.
You get frustrated.
I do. You're right.
You've thrown things at me in the studio.
I have.
Once or twice, maybe 3 times or more. But I have a solution. I think if we eat a good lunch, so if we go to Giovanni's Pizza, by the way, did you bring your dad home the chicken
Farm, yes.
He loves
His
that.
favorite.
I think
Yes.
Gio knows that.
Yeah, Gio knows that.
It's
Makes
a
it
great.
special just for him.
So, guys, I'm letting you know right now. Giovanni's Pizza, 1009 Little East Neck Road, West Babylon, New York, 11704, 631-669-9507. We are open, says they. Give them a call. So I want to get personal for a second. Not that we don't get personal on the show anyway. There is a 501c3 not-for-profit corporation helping children and families with unfortunate and unforeseen circumstances in Long Island. So HopeFloatsLongIsland.org helped me when I was doing an event for children with pediatric cancer. And half the people that were supposed to help us backed out.
Yeah.
We were on this beach.
I get it.
We have all these people coming, and everyone's coming to help us, and the vendors that were supposed to be there didn't show up. Hope Floats Long Island not only touched my heart, but they made the event happen.
Yeah.
And no one else knew. I had a heart attack, but the show went on, and that
Yes,
was
it
like the
did.
greatest thing. So that's www.hopefloatsli.org, and you can email Theresa at hopefloatsli.org. All right, we're back, and we listen. So we've gotten, let's see, this is like our 12th show.
Really?
This is.
It
This would be show number 12. This is
Yeah.
constructive conclusion on show number 12. And I want to look back to like how this all started, right? And I'm really grateful that
Are we
it is-
taking a trip down memory lane?
What, between you and I?
That's a whole other show.
That's a whole other show. I partnered up with somebody. We were creating a charity event. And nobody showed up, and he's looking at me like, "What? I don't know what happened. They just didn't show up." Theresa comes over and saves the day. Whole Floats Long Island. I'm a huge fan. I think if I didn't have those little things to give me purpose,
Yeah.
it would have been very difficult for me.
Yeah.
People like you, people like Whole Floats Long Island, different movements. You know, I'm part of Friends of Recovery. They're great people. I mean, some of these movements really give you something to live for
Yeah.
and helps you get out of yourself.
Yep.
You know, what do you think the best way to get out of yourself is? Like, what would
Volunteer.
Volunteer, huh?
Yeah.
So when you volunteer,
Help someone else.
Help someone else. Learn to interact.
Yeah.
I mean, how many Facebook divorce pages are there?
Oh God. Thousands.
All right, folks. So when we started the show, we initially started interviewing people to have them on as guests.
Oh, yeah, that was a big mistake. Huge.
So this guy's
If you
telling me,
ever want to bring out all the crazy,
yeah, no. So
interview for someone to be on a podcast.
oh my God. So like, there were people that I'll tell you all about divorce. And
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, oh no.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, you're gonna put me on your show. I'm like, I'll get back to you. Totally
We'll
gonna
let
get
you
back
know.
to you.
We'll call you. Don't
yeah,
call
yeah,
us.
yeah. Totally. Like, here it is. I'm trying to get rid of the hatred and the
Yeah,
animosity.
no, that was
And I'm
all
having
about hate.
You heard. So the messages we got from this guy was like, listen, he got raked through the coals.
He did. I will not say that he didn't.
But to
He is
walk around.
so angry.
Yeah, I can't. Give
Angry.
into that. I can't do that.
No.
And we want to kind of move away from I lived most of my life angry. It was unsuccessful at best.
It's never successful.
You know, so I guess the constructive conclusion where we're heading towards is, you know, we got to put a few things to bed. We got to let a
Yeah.
few things to rest. So anger, certainly one of them.
Resentment.
Resentment, absolutely. Self-pity.
Yes.
Self-pity does nothing
Get
for you.
past the poor me.
Yeah, you start moving.
That's annoying.
So one thing that you learn about depression is when you move and you exercise, you physiologically go through changes. Your body goes through a change, and that actually helps you. That's great. So exercise is a great way to replace thought with action. I picked up writing. I picked up writing. So
That's a release for you.
it was life-saving.
Yeah.
It was life-saving. During the pandemic, I put out 3 books. The first one is Operation Depression. Operation Depression is not about puppy dogs and rainbows.
No, it's not rainbows and unicorns, folks.
No. It is not a
It's
cheerful.
raw and it's real.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that the whole thing is depressing.
No, not at all.
Then the second book was called From Zero, and that was just a very easy to follow, pretty quick read self-coaching book. And the third book was called Voices from the Fallen, because a lot of people that helped me did not survive. You know, I think
So depressing.
it is. Yeah, it is.
It
But you know what?
is.
The messages that I got from
Right.
them,
The messages, the overall outcome of it
yeah,
was good, but it's sad.
it is sad. The fact that people die is sad, but it's also
Yes.
part of life. It doesn't have to be Listen, I lost a lot of loved ones along the way, and a lot of people passed away throughout my life, and I remember having this connection to it, and I couldn't get around the grief. And a thing that I struggle with COVID is, you lose people, and it's not like you can get around the grief because someone
Right.
else goes. You know,
Yeah.
death has become the new normal. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what the hell is going on? man?
Yeah.
And I certainly don't want that to be my new normal. I did a presentation in a corporate office, and they said, we don't do a new normal, we're doing a new better. I like
Oh,
that.
okay.
New better.
Yeah.
I want to be better.
Yeah. Doesn't everyone?
Who doesn't want to be better? Then
We all
you think,
do.
don't be bitter, be better.
Be better.
By the way, I know that's a thing from television, but that saying existed long before television.
Yes,
by the way,
it
folks.
did.
I hated those sayings.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I hated those sayings. Like, I said, you complain about the man with no shoes. What about the man with no feet? That never made sense to me because he don't need shoes.
Right.
I never liked that. You point your finger, you got 3 fingers pointing back at you. I hated all that. I'm not a little cliche fan. All I know is I have to find a way on a daily basis to feel better.
Everybody does, don't they?
Right, but everyone has to find out what that is for them.
Yeah, that's definitely a
Everyone-
personal choice.
So going forward, this is show 12, and we're just looking back and we're seeing the
Yeah.
questions we're asked. And it really is helping people. There are people that are seeing benefits, and there are people that
Yeah.
are learning
If
different
we've
ways
helped
to think.
one person, we've done our job.
That is true. Well, we've definitely done our job.
Yeah.
We've definitely. I know you've helped a lot more than one person. And I like to think
You
I
too?
have. I think so. I like to think so. I think that what we never talk about?
What?
The man behind the curtain,
The man behind the curtain.
Mr. Bobby,
Oz?
Mr. Bobby himself.
Yeah.
I got to tell you something. This guy puts us together. We have these shows,
He has to.
and we're like, we always
If it
tell him,
wasn't for him, we would not be here.
100%. And we're just doing a little quick rewind,
Yeah.
looking back. So, Bobby, I know you're listening. Everyone knows you're listening. I know you're laughing. I know you're laughing right now. But this is so much fun for us.
Yeah.
Even though
Fun, kinda.
he came in and smiled. We love you, man. We love you.
We love you, Bobby.
So the producer of all producers. So the thing is, here it is. We're gonna come in next show. We're going to start to bring in more guests.
Yeah.
And not all of this is going to be.
It's not going to be rainbows and unicorns.
No. We have some guests scheduled coming up, and if you want to be a guest on this show, and if you have something positive
To
to
add.
add, we want to hear about it.
Yes.
Because we've done interviews with people like, we want to be on your show. We definitely like what you're doing.
There goes the voice again.
And then I hate him. He was terrible to me.
Email us at
Email.
breakingthevow@gmail.com
Yeah, email
or
us.
direct message us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram.
We're on all of those
We're on
things.
all of those.
We're ending this show differently today, and we wanted to just put aside all the professional rah blah blah blah. We're very real people.
Yeah.
And the great thing is we can have fun with this. There's no.
We are having fun, I thought.
We are. I am. I'm definitely having fun.
I don't know if Bobby's having so much fun, but we
Guys,
are.
you got to see what we put him through. When we go to
We
break.
torture his life.
We go to break, and he's like, "What are you doing? Come on, get back in there." And we have studio time, and it's great. And he's like, "I know you're laughing, pal. I know the man behind the curtain is the
Yeah.
reason that put this all together."
Yes.
So our constructive conclusion this week is this: we have found a fortunate set of friends that mean the world to us. And same as like Teresa's my family, and Fran is my family. Jen and Jean are my family. I'm still not picking which one was better on the show. There's so many.
Come on, they're waiting to hear.
I love you both equally. I love you both equally. But I think, listen, folks, stick with us, man. We really want to change the way things go.
Yeah.
We want you feeling better. I want you feeling better. You want people feeling better.
Of course.
I want you feeling better.
I will. Give it time.
Yeah, no, well, you're going to feel better because we're getting food next.
Ah,
So,
I'm so hungry.
Gio, I want my chicken palm. Have a good one, folks.
Peace out.